The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a girl in my school, the only girl in my life, the only student in my life, 38 years of teaching, that I sent throughout of school was one girl in my life. And I was 100% right. She was being a mahdi. But even though I was causing other people to sin, but even though I did the right thing, I caused her crazy pain throughout my school. But I was right. And she wouldn't back down. She would not say she's sorry. The other girl that was involved said she's sorry. She's a tough kid. She wouldn't back down. So I didn't back down. A year after it happened, maybe 2 years after it happened, I'm standing by the Koisel, 3 years ago. I'm standing by the Koisel, Erev Yom Kippur at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I go to Vasikim, but I go early. I'm standing by the Koisel, I'm looking at the Koisel, and I'm saying to myself, there's one kid in this world that I really hurt. I was right. But because you're right doesn't mean you didn't hurt the person. You can be right, but you hurt the person. I said, this girl's walking around, she hates my guts. She is so angry at me that I threw her out of school. I gotta ask Mechila. I don't know if I'm gonna call, she's gonna answer, but 3 o'clock Israeli time is 8 o'clock American time. I walked away from the Koisel to the Chutzner. I dialed her number. I had her number from school. She picks up. Hello? I'm like, don't hang up the phone. It's Rabbi Wallerstein. I'm calling to apologize. And it's like silent. Because the last person she ever dreamt that would apologize was me. I said, I'm standing by the Koisel. I'm not going to get into the whole discussion whether you're right or I'm right. It doesn't matter. I'm wrong because I caused you pain. And I'm asking Mechila, not for right or wrong, I'm asking Mechila, for the last, I think it was 2 years, that you've just been in so much pain. And she goes, it's going to take me a while to forgive you. I'm like, okay, I got a while. No problem. Every single year, including this year, 3 o'clock in the morning, Erev Yom Kippur, I call her. We're already best friends, but I call her. And I'm like, how you doing? What's going on? Are you in school? What's happening? She wasn't doing so well for a while. I follow her. She knows I care. It took me 2 years to get there. Just because you're right doesn't mean you didn't hurt the person. So even if you're right, you still have to ask for forgiveness. But the most important thing to the person is, and this is I spoke about this yesterday, not in my share last night, but don't ever forget this. If you care about me, and you threw me out, and you're claiming that you threw me out because you care about me and you want me to be better, then how come you never followed up? If you never followed up after you threw me out, that means it wasn't about me that you threw me out. It was about you. And that's a very different feeling. So yeah, when a yeshiva throws a kid out, and they don't follow up, and they don't call to see how he's doing for years and years, or at least a little bit, they didn't do it because they cared about him. They did it because they cared about them. But if you really call that kid and you follow him, that means you really care about him. And where the parent has to make that decision that they're affecting Hashem, what do I do? And Hashem says, they're affecting the other kids, your kid has to go. But then you have to follow that kid, and you have to help that kid, and you have to get that kid a place to stay, and you have to give money to the child, and you have to help them grow and show them that I might have thrown you out to protect the other kids, but I still love you. But if I don't follow up, that means you didn't throw me out to protect the other kids. You threw me out not because you love me, you threw me out because you love you.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org